Okay, so welcome back. Now that the process is done, just close the program if it doesn't close in and of itself. Anyway, at this point in time, you have a bootable USB with Linux on it that you can plug in to pretty much any machine out there, and you can perform the installation. I'm gonna go ahead and close. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this machine down. You don't. I mean, you can shut it down or not. Doesn't really matter. The physical machine where you intend to install the Linux, that is the machine where you need to plug your USB in. Now, take that machine that you reserved to install Linux on, plug the USB in, and you will be booting it and setting the boot order and installing Linux on it. I'm gonna do it on a virtual machine here, as my main machine is already Fedora. So, upon the boot of the machine, upon the boot of any machine, you will be prompted with a either to select the boot order or to enter BIOS. Now, on every machine, it is different. On this machine, there's nothing installed. I'm guessing that the machine that you selected for has nothing installed on it either. But in case you have something installed on it, you need to press F12, F11, F10, or F2, or the delete button to select the boot order. You will see this option briefly before you actually boot into the operating system. So, just press one of those buttons and select the boot order that you would like. Select the state that you would like it to boot from a USB. So, afterwards, you will get a prompt exactly like mine. If it says here 2025 or some next version that came out, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure that I downloaded 23, but I downloaded 24. It's completely irrelevant whether it's 23, 24, or the 25 which is to come. It doesn't matter. Just select, just when you download it, as I said before, just download the latest version and that's it. So here I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can install Fedora Linux onto your machine as your main and single operating system. So you select the first option, press enter, and then wait. Fedora will boot and install just fine on a UEFI BIOS based machine, just as it will on a legacy based machine. So going through this, okay, just wait for it to be done. It's doing its own thing in the back. And black screen for a while. Depending on the speed of your machine and, well, on the speed of your hard drive, this process might take a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, or be a little bit shorter. Keep in mind that you are doing this installation from a USB, so it can take a bit of time for it to actually complete. Okay, so booting today, yes, please. Thank you. So, you will get a screen, just like I have a screen here. I'm unable to get the full resolution until I actually have installed the system and configured it, but doesn't matter, I'm not going to be using this virtual machine, I'm just showing you how to actually install it. You will get a icon here. It says install to hard drive, and just double click on it and wait. Okay, maybe, yep, there we go. So it just takes a while for it to install. You can select your language preferences here. I'm gonna go ahead and state English, United Kingdom. Select whatever you want, it doesn't matter, whatever suits you. I would suggest that you go with English always, as it is a lot simpler. I never understood why people actually translated the operating systems. When I go onto an operating system, which is a friend asked me to help him out or something like that, and his OS is actually on my native language, I get lost completely. Not sure why. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and click on continue. So these are just some personal preferences here. And then you can configure the keyboard here additionally if you want, but I don't think that you need to since you selected the language. It's gonna default to that keyboard. You can select a time zone. Well, basically just click on it and, I don't know, click anywhere on the globe, and that's going to be fine. It really does. I mean, that's up to you, depending on where you are in the world. I've just set some time zone. It doesn't really matter. Network, you will need to be connected to the internet, so it needs to say either wired or wireless, and it needs to say connected. So if you're on a wireless network, just go ahead and click on it, then you're gonna get a prompt or something like that. If you don't, plug a cable into the machine, and it's going to connect. Now, it says here system. Well, maybe you don't necessarily need to be connected. I mean, if you don't have internet connection at the time of the installation, it should be fine. You can always perform certain updates later on. It says here installation destination, automatic partitioning selected. Okay, so, sorry. You just click on it and open it up. You will get a series of disks here that you have available. I have this one available, and when I click on it, there's this sign here, and you select it, and you can I mean, there's no reason why you cannot just click on automatically configure partitioning and encrypt data. But if you have already an operating system installed here, you can just click on encrypt data if you want to encrypt it. I usually do, but if you lose your encryption passphrase, or if you forget it, you will never again be able to recover that data. Just forget about it. So you can either opt to encrypt it or not to encrypt it. I would personally advise you not to encrypt it for these learning stages, as there is no need while you're learning to have all your drives fully encrypted. So you are just making it possible for you to mess things up. Later on, you can always reinstall the system or re-encrypt the drives while the system is actually installed if you want. But as I said, there's no need for it to do now at this point in time. Now you can also select this. I will configure partitioning, and then select I would like to. Well, just select I will configure partitioning, because I'm guessing your partitions won't exactly be free. So just select I will configure partitioning and then click on done. And it will throw you here. The first thing that you're going to do is, well, you can leave it at this. No, I don't want to rescan the disk. Okay, so just click here, one storage drive, select it, and see if that's the drive that you want it to be installed on. Okay, so go ahead and click on to plus, and you can create mount points here, etc. But the real reason why I actually brought you here is so that you learn how to actually make space available in case it is already occupied. So you can click here to create partitions in an automated fashion, and that's it. If you want to delete a partition or something like that, if you already have it occupied, you can delete it with select it, and there's a minus sign. Minus, 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 and there you go. You delete all of them, and then you click here to create them automatically. Keep in mind that all the data that is already contained on them will be lost, and you can see it already has boot FE. They're configured. So all of these things are created here for you. You don't need to do anything special, especially not for the learning process. Just click on create them automatically. The only reason why I brought you here is due to the fact that your disks might be occupied, so that you know how to delete them. You basically delete them with this minus sign, then you click here, let me just do it one more time. So minus, 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 and click here to create them automatically. And there you go, they're all created, and click on done. And it's going to destroy something, which is fine for me. Keep in mind that after this point in time, I'm going to accept the changes. And when I click on begin installation, these changes will become permanent, and your whatever information is contained in the installation disks will be gone without a good chance of a recovery. So let's go ahead and create our user. I will just type in something nonsensical here like test. You should type in, well, you don't need to type in your name. It's an optional field. The username for me will be test, and I'm going to click make this user, well, actually no. And I'm going to go ahead and create test down below and test down below. So everything will be test for me. You create the real username for yourselves, the one of your choosing, put in a strong password. Don't just type in nonsense here like I have, because I'm going to delete this machine as soon as I have as soon as I'm done with this. And then click on done. You'll need to click on done twice because the password is weak here. You need to create a strong password and you will only click done once. Now let's go ahead and create a root password. I'm gonna create a root password which is test again, which is kind of stupid, but oh well. Done, done, and there you go. Now create a good, strong root password and create a good, strong password for your user. That is something that you should really do. I mean, yeah. Don't type in test, that's pretty stupid. I did it because, as I said, I'm gonna delete this machine anyway. It doesn't mean anything at this point in time. I'm not gonna use it for any sort of productivity work. Rather, instead, most of my work will be done on the machine that I already have, that is already set up for me. So I'm gonna do this work on a real machine, not on a virtual machine. I'm just showing you how the installation procedure goes Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here and wait for the installation process to finish. You shouldn't be prompted with anything else.